All right, so we are here with John Wesley Williams II. John Wesley Williams II is a senior in high school and finishing up his senior year. And one of the things that I like to do is I like to interview people and just find out how they're doing in their life, particularly during this time because, the world has just been turned upside down with this COVID-19, this coronavirus. And I haven't had a chance to talk to any teenagers. And I definitely had an opportunity to talk to someone that has been so affected by this as in a high school senior, because all the high school seniors across this country and across this world for that matter are not going to be able to go to prom. They're not going to be, having that graduation ceremony. And they really have been affected by this situation more so than others have. So I'm very grateful for you, John, coming on and just talking to us a little bit about not only that, but also your life and where you want to go after you graduate from high school. So how you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm grateful that you came on, and I think that what you're going to share with us is going to resonate. But the first thing I want to do is just talk a little bit about you, talk about your high school years, starting with ninth grade and on up until your senior year. And let's just talk about you as a student athlete, because that's what you are. You're a student athlete, and you're also really looking for an opportunity to become a college student athlete. So you've been a high school student athlete, and you want to be a college student athlete. So let's just talk a little bit about your high school years.
My high school years from freshman to senior year was a definite change. Just in terms of when you come from eighth grade to ninth grade, it's a big transition. Obviously, eighth grade people are the same height, and then when you go to high school, everybody's bigger, stronger, faster. So just adapting to that. Coming into my ninth grade year, it was fun. Just being to get that challenge and being able to see what it means to play varsity and when people talk about, just to get that experience is amazing.
So when you, where are you from?
I was originally born in Fort Myers, Florida, but I spent most of my pre-K through sixth grade in Georgia, and then I ended up moving to KC from my seventh to my ninth grade year, and I left my ninth grade year, and I lived in Oklahoma from my 10th to 11th, and I moved back home to Georgia for my senior year.
Wow, that's a lot of moving, and of course, obviously, circumstances dictated that you had to make those moves. So we'll talk more about that, but let's talk about ninth grade. Like when you went to ninth grade, obviously you had played ball, AAU, all that good stuff all the way through. Then you get to high school, it's a totally different situation. Tell us a little bit about your ninth grade year.
My ninth grade year was very fun. We had a lot of talent. It was probably one of my funniest years in high school just because of what we could have been. We probably had one of the best teams. We had two 6'10" freshmen. We had a 6'8" forward.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it was a very experience to see. We could do so much. Like we throw lobs off the glass. It was really we were it was really like an NBA team almost, just in terms of talent. So it was very fun. It was a very learning experience just to get
Where was that at?
Blue Valley High School down in Overland Park, Kansas.
Okay. So when you say KC, you're talking about the Kansas side.
Yeah, not the Missouri side.
Okay. That's what's up.
It was a definite learning experience, just, becoming older, hitting 15, 16, things like that, and just, seeing life after middle school, and just getting used to it.
Okay. Well, I used to be a basketball coach, and, I look at somebody like yourself, particularly from a physical standpoint, as being what they call a late bloomer. You have some kids that have their growth spurts early, and they enter ninth grade and they're already 6'2", you know what I mean, or 6'4", or 6'8", or whatever. Like you said, you have some 16 guys that were in ninth grade.
Yeah.
But then you have some that, they get into high school and they're not as tall, and then they have that growth spurt, and I think that really kind of defines you. So when you went to high school, how tall were you?
When I entered high school, I was 5'7", 5'8".
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
I would say middle of the pack.
Right. Yeah. I think about, I know you've heard of Obviously, you've heard of Scottie Pippen, I think of Dennis Rodman, and probably the most famous current player that had that tremendous growth spurt was Anthony Davis. Anthony
Yeah.
Davis entered high school as a guard and had guard skills because he was a guard.
He's a
And
guard,
then he
yeah.
had that growth spurt and went from 5'9", 5'10", 5'11" to 6'9". You know what I'm saying? Now and they say he's still growing. I think he's legit 7 feet now.
Yeah.
But Dennis Rodman was the same. Dennis Rodman actually started off as the manager of his team.
Yeah.
It was to Southeast Oklahoma State, I believe. And of course, Scottie Pippen went to Central Arkansas. And those guys, they did well. Those are guys that I consider that had really high ceilings. And I really look at you in that light. Now, how tall are you now?
I'm 6'2" right now.
So you're 6'2". So you literally entered ninth grade 5'7", and now here you stand 6 feet 2 inches tall. Wow. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, and so, you're probably dunking and doing all that good stuff, huh?
Yeah, most definitely. Of course, you got to stay bouncy. You got to stay on your toes.
Okay, that's what's up. Okay, so, you entered your freshman year, and then you said something happened that required that you had to move after your freshman year. What was that all about?
So my dad got offered a principal position to take over Central Middle School down in Kansas City, Missouri, where he's from, where his family's from. So it's kind of hard to say no to that. And being that's a career step for him, he wanted to take full advantage of it. And so we, as a family, we had to make a decision. And I had to go along for that ride.
Okay. So you say in 10th and 11th grade, you went to another school, and that was in Oklahoma. What was that all about? How did you end up in Oklahoma?
My dad got another principal position up in Oklahoma. So he wanted to take full advantage of that. So, but I had a decision to make, me personally, because I had a choice to stay or to go with him in terms of, basketball wise. My mother wasn't really, she didn't understand, she knew I had talent, but she didn't really understand basketball and what it takes to be, good at it. And so I had to make a sacrifice, to leave her and, leave my sister and go be with my dad in order to develop and play my game and be with players that, were better than me so I could develop and just grow.
For sure. So you know how moms are, they just want what's best for their kids. And
yeah.
If you like it, they love it, but they sometimes don't know what all goes into it. So
yeah,
you made the move to Oklahoma. And now what high school are you at in Oklahoma?
So my 10th grade year and my 11th grade year, I was at McLean High School down on the north side of Tulsa.
Okay. And so you did real well there. Obviously, the leader of your team, 10th and 11th grade year. And but, between your 10th and 11th grade year, there were some other challenges that your family started facing. As much as you want to, can you kind of share what that was all about?
I think we were in the middle of playoffs my junior year, and my mother was stricken with cancer. So we had to make a decision as a family. She had to come back to Georgia in order to get better care. And so, mind you, we're in playoffs. So it's like, do I stay? Do I go? So, I guess family at that time was the most important thing. And I didn't know if I was going to see my mother again. So I had to leave and, go be with her because I didn't know whether she'd be alive tomorrow, or whether she died tomorrow. So it was just, it was a very tough time. So I had to be strong for her and only be strong for my siblings and my father, because after my mom passed, it's just my dad. So
your mom didn't make it?
No, sir. My mother passed away on January 20th.
Wow. So I can't even fathom that, what you might have been going through as a 16. Were you 16 or 17?
So I turned 17 in September, and she got worse through December. And then when it hit January, she ended up passing away.
So you were 17 years of age, middle of your junior year, middle of your basketball season, living in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and ended up, your mom passed away. I ended up relocating back to Atlanta, and that's where you are now. So as I speak to you right now, you're in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes, sir. I'm in Atlanta.
Wow. So I'm saying this as a coach. I just can't even fathom how hard it might have been to kind of transition into a new school as a senior,
Yeah.
a program that you hadn't been a part of those first 3 years in high school as a senior, and trying to, integrate yourself into that program. Um, I would have to believe that, the fact that you left and moved back to Atlanta, that probably hurt your recruiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So when I think about this video, one of the things that I want to do for you, and full disclosure, I am John's uncle. So obviously I want to help my nephew get as many opportunities as he can. And so one of the reasons that we're making this video is we want to make sure that coaches out there understand that, John is an excellent student athlete. He's an excellent basketball player, but he's more importantly an excellent young man. And he has a lot of room for growth. And we want to give coaches who still might have a few spaces or places on their team to, give him an opportunity. That's all he's looking for, is an opportunity. If you give him the opportunity, he'll take care of the rest. So John, in that vein, what would you say to a coach who's going to be looking at this video? First of all, what would you say to him about yourself as a student first, the student and student athlete?
First of all, you can't have one A without the other, and academics is very important to me. I can't play basketball without academics, so that's just been instilled in me since I was young. So I'm just highly focused on that. That's the main priority. Just being a good student. Like it's so hard for me to fathom like the A without the other A. So it's like it seems foreign. So just a student is everything. If you don't go to class, you can't play basketball. It's simple.
That's true. So when we think about you as an athlete, what would you tell a coach that's looking at you right now in terms of what you could bring to a program? Because obviously when a coach recruits a student athlete, he's recruiting them not for one, not for two, not for three, but for 4 years. Obviously, if things happen and, you continue to grow as a player, that might go a little quicker and you might end up, going to the league. But, they don't look at it from that standpoint. They always look at it from the standpoint that, hey, not only am I recruiting this young person, but this young person is going to be with me for 4 years.
Yeah.
So what do you say to that coach in terms of your athletic ability and your skills as a basketball player that you could bring to a team? Like, first of all, what position do you play, and what are some of the skill sets that you feel like you bring to your game?
Mm-hmm. First and foremost, I am a shooting guard. I'm a 6'2" shooting guard. The doctor says I have 2 more inches to grow, so probably by my freshman year I'll be 6'4". So being that I'm growing still, it's allowed my game to grow. I'm able to do more things, and I was, couldn't really, I wouldn't say couldn't, but it was much harder for me to do going up from 9th grade to 10th, just my whole senior year. But I'm a very skillful person. I shoot the ball from deep very well. I'm a threat at all 4 stages. I'm an unselfish player. I'm willing to give the ball up if that person's open. I'm I don't like to toot my own horn, but I feel like I'm just a bigger Stephen Curry. I play defense. I'm in the passing lanes 24/7. I communicate very well, and I'm coming ready to work. I work hard. I went to school in a rough area so that I can get the mindset of learning a different grind rather than the normal person. I come from I would say a privileged background. So
True.
Going to school in the inner city made me adapt in terms of people are going home and they're seeing a different lifestyle. They're paying bills. They're doing this on top of going to practice every day. So me being adapting that hunger and that mindset and that drive every single day when I play basketball, it's taking me to another level. And like, I see it every day when I'm in the gym consistently. It's
Wow.
just, it's so eye-opening to see the growth. It's just like, if I just need a chance just to show that person, just to show that coach what I'm really capable of. And I just need a coach that's going to believe in me. I don't want no coach to sugarcoat that with me. I just want him to be honest, and I'm going to be honest with him. And hopefully we make this relationship go to its highest full effect. So I'm just ready to get to work, really. I love the game. I don't play the game for fun. I feel like this is my career. I feel like I can take this as far as it can go. My dream is to get to the NBA, so I'm willing to do whatever it takes.
Absolutely. So what are you going to major in when you go to college?
Business.
Business?
It's either business or sports medicine. I like to do things with the body and like recover.
Sure.
Things like that.
Okay. You good in science and math?
Yes, sir, of course.
Excellent. That's what's up. So that's good. That's good to know that you're just looking for that opportunity. I guess another question that I would ask is, I mean, you live in Georgia, but you've been well traveled. I mean, you were born in Florida, you lived in Georgia, you lived in Kansas, you lived in Oklahoma. What if some coach is watching this and he's in New York? Are you willing to go to New York?
I'm willing to go wherever it takes me. I'm just ready to work. I'm just ready to come in, show what I can do, play at the highest level I can possibly get to, so that I can make my dream come true. I've worked so hard, and I've seen the growth. It's just, I need to be put on a platform to where everybody can see it, so I can prove that everybody that this is what I'm about. This is who John Williams is. When you look at John Williams, this is what you see.
Absolutely.
So I'm just ready to get in and work.
So you have no problem, some coaches watching this and they're in, I don't know, the state of Washington. And they're saying, man, this kid is way down in South Georgia. He's going to come up here, get homesick. And the next thing you know, he's going to be calling me saying, I'm at the Atlanta airport because I came home. I miss my family. What do you say to that, coach?
I mean, I've traveled everywhere for AU. I've traveled to Vegas. I've traveled to Seattle. I've traveled to LA, New York, South Carolina, North Carolina. So I'm Iowa, and Oklahoma is very desolate. So there's really nothing to do in Oklahoma but hoop and go to school. So, I mean, I'm ready to go wherever it takes me. I mean, I love this game. This is my passion. So I'm going to do anything for it.
Absolutely. That's good to know. All right. So I'm going to leave the final word with you. And I just want you to look in the camera and just, any coach that's out there watching right now, just tell them what you're all about and tell them why he should give you an opportunity to be a part of this program.
Mm-hmm. So my whole goal is just to come in and work extremely hard. I come from a background of hard workers. The Williams family is full of hardworking people.
Absolutely.
And the buck has not stopped with me. So I'm on a path to, be great. And that's my whole thing, be great in everything I do. I'm just looking for opportunity. In that opportunity, I want that coach to trust me. I want there to be a full communication. No sugarcoating, 100%. So as a team, we can grow as a man in terms of relationship can grow on and off the court, because that's important when you're playing in a team sport and things like that. So overall, I'm just looking for opportunity. I'm ready to work hard. I'm coming in day one, ready to kill, do what I need to do, so I can get to my dream and get to the highest level and see where this basketball dream can take me.
Awesome. So I'm going to ask you another question, but I'm going to put it in another part of the video. That is going to be the ending part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But another question I want to ask you, John, is, you've gone through a lot of adversity. I mean, you've gone through a lot of adversity in your personal life with your mom, God rest her soul. Obviously, you loved her, we loved her. And, that's a huge hole in your heart. But it forced you to have to deal with some issues that the typical 16, 17, 18-year-old kid doesn't have to deal with, not to mention what's going on with this coronavirus.
Yeah.
So what would you say to a coach about your ability to handle adversity?
So in adversity is basically saying you have to be able to be adaptable. If you're not going to adapt, life is going to pass you by and time doesn't wait for you. So me being able to adapt in that situation and still go to practice every day, day in and day out, be able to play basketball and have a smile on my face and give it everything my all. And knowing when I go home, my mother's sick and she's on her last day, it's made me a better person on and off the court. It's made me better man. It's made me who I am today. Just being able to say I went through those trials and tribulations and look what happened. And I'm still growing. I still have room to grow. I haven't reached my peak. I haven't reached my ceiling at all. So just me going through that adversity it shows you what you're made of. It shows the weak from the strong, and I believe that God puts His soldiers through His toughest battles, and you know I've come out on the other side every time.
Very well said. Very well said. So when you think about yourself and how you would contribute to a team, let's say you have some adversity when you come to the team. And what I mean by that, I'm not saying that there's going to be some, event that happens. Maybe you don't feel like you're getting the playing time that you deserve. Are you still going to work hard in practice? Are you still going to bring your A game every day to, drills and whatever the coach needs? How can the coach know and trust you to be the consummate team player?
Mm. So I work hard regardless of my situation because I know at the end of the day it's gonna pay off. So I know that every day in practice I'm gonna go at anybody, whoever, no matter who you are. So I'm gonna just prove to you. Life is about proving somebody wrong. So I'm just gonna prove you wrong every time and just continue to work hard. And I like working hard, so that's
been the central theme in this video. Work hard. Yeah, hard work, man. Hard work and dedication. That's right. So that's good. That's really good to know. And I think you would be an excellent asset, obviously. Of course, I'm biased, but I really believe that. I believe that, that you would be an awesome asset to a team and to a coach. So we just want you to get that opportunity. So anyway, John, I want to thank you for coming on and, having this conversation with me about, your high school years, what you've been dealing with here in your senior year, as far as, everything that's gone on in terms of not being able to kind of finish up your senior year the way you want. And it sounds like, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you're ready to take it to the next level.
Yes, sir, of course. This is what I'm made for. I'm excited for what the next chapter of my book is. So I'm just ready to write it.
Well said. Well, we're going to end it on that note, and I just wish you all the best. I love you, and I want the best for you, and I'm excited about what that next chapter is going to look like for John Wesley Williams II.
Yes, sir.
All right, my brother. All the best. All right. Take care.